Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and today we are talking about, I'm going to be reading from my book. It's called, right over here, Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology. And it's by yours truly, Gebo the Shaman. My real name is Vince Cerna, so anyway. So I'm going to be reading through my book, and if you'd like to purchase it on Amazon, it's available in print version and on ebook version. There's special deals, so like if you get Kindle Unlimited, then it's pretty much free. So yeah, there's some different things like that going on with the book, so you can head on over to Amazon and find out the details on that. I have a link listed below the video, so you can find that information. Alright, so Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology by Vincent Cerna, forward by Michael William Denney. Dedication and special thanks. First and foremost, thank you to my dear spiritual teacher Mahadeva, aka Michael William Denney, whose words cannot express how much of a transformational effect you've had on my life, and all I can say is that I'm deeply grateful for all you do. You've taught me so much about how to love and comfort myself through my overwhelming feelings, overcome challenging obstacles, and overcome challenging circumstances, how to empower myself and take contrary actions. Your work has taught me very important life lessons that have provided a lifeline that has helped me tremendously. My spiritual teacher, I'm gonna be jumping around, and I just kind of ad-libbing because I feel like there's certain things that need to be emphasized or lessons that can be learned. So, having a spiritual teacher, having a mentor, a guru. I know Mahadeva, Michael William Denney, does not like anyone to call him a guru because he recognizes his humanity, and he's very humble in that way. He's human just like the rest of us. However, it's like the information that he's taught me is kind of like that of a guru. So there you go. Guys, it's important to have a spiritual teacher. It's important to have a mentor, someone who you can talk to and who can help you work through your psychological issues, even a therapist or something like that, some kind of a support group. But also it's important to have like a one-on-one connection with a teacher, a mentor. Mahadeva is very good at getting into the unconscious mind and the kind of helping me understand the unconscious programming and things like that I've been raised with and that has gotten into my mind. So yeah, he is a very excellent and talented mentor. So if you're interested in anything that he has to offer, you can go to thunderwizard.com or courses.thunderwizard.com. So continuing here, secondly, thank you to my amazing sponsor and all of my close friends in recovery. You are much more than friends to me, you're family. I'm thankful for your love and acceptance of me when I struggled to do that for myself, when I struggled to love and accept myself. So yeah, there's my mentor, my mentor, and then I have friends in a program that I am a part of. And some of you may have heard me talk about this before. It has to do with codependence. But yeah, that's essentially the program that I'm a part of. Without, saying exactly. Alright, so thank you to my mom and family whose support is thank you to my mom and family whose support and encouragement is deeply appreciated. I didn't really, thank everyone I wanted to thank, and I just kind of left it at that. But yeah, the family, I'll just leave it at that, guys. Yeah. They've been, super supportive and helpful, so I'm grateful for that. Alright, continuing. Alright, so the next section is the foreword. So, foreword by Michael William Denney. My spiritual counselor actually wrote me the foreword to this, so we'll see what he has to say here. He says, foreword by Michael William Denney. Vedic astrology is one of the most detailed and reliable spiritual sciences that can help anyone learn how to use their inherent powers to live their most happy, prosperous, and healthy life. I have known Vincent for a few years now, and I'm always inspired and empowered by his steadfast commitment to himself and to his clients. Vincent has shown a powerful gift in his astrological reading, or astrological understanding. Even though he first learned Vedic astrology from my teachings, Vincent has already surpassed my knowledge in this science in many areas, and I'm proud to refer people to him for readings. He continues to study the art. He continues to study this art, and his knowledge is ever increasing. Anyone who works with Vincent is blessed to have someone with such a depth of knowledge, intuition, and a deep caring for the well-being of all people. I'm proud to be associated with this book, and I recommend Vincent to anyone who wants a capable and caring astrologer. By Michael William Denney, Mahadeva. And you can go to courses.thunderwizard.com to see the work that he has to offer. Okay, next chapter. What is Tantra? This book is titled Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology, so I feel it's important to have a good understanding of what Tantra really is to clear up some of the misconceptions or false assumptions that have been perpetuated about it in Western culture. Alright, let's see. Tantra means technique, literally means technique. It is the spiritual disciplines, practices, and techniques that are used on a daily basis to help us release our earthly attachments, attune to our soul, achieve personal growth, self-awareness, and a deep and meaningful spiritual connection. So yeah, Tantra is basically a technique. So in essence, it's you face a certain direction, you do a certain mantra, you do this, practice, you do it consistently as a daily discipline. That is Tantra, that is technique. That's how by doing it every day, it's pretty much how you develop that technique to and hone it to be to be better. So, yeah. Alright, let's see here. So yeah, as far as the benefits, I mentioned releasing earthly attachments, attune to your soul, achieve personal growth, self-awareness, and a deep, meaningful spiritual connection. Those are just some of the benefits that I've personally experienced. However, results may vary, you know. Who knows what you're going to, you know, be good at, or what's going to be triggered by you doing these sadhanas, these tantric practices. Alright, so let's see here. Some examples of tantric practices and disciplines include mantras, mudras, rituals, pranayama, meditation, kundalini yoga, and other various yogic practices. In the West, we suffer from a severe misunderstanding of what Tantra really actually is. When the word Tantra is mentioned to your average Westerner, most will automatically assume we are referring to tantric sex. And that is a very minute part of the entirety of all tantric practices. Tantric sex is essentially, I mean, it's like, basically what happened was Westerners learned, you know, it's kind of like Hatha yoga. You know, Westerners went to India and they learned Hatha yoga. Well, Hatha yoga is essentially just the warm-up for getting your body attuned to deeper spiritual practices. It's not in and of itself, it's not a spiritual practice. It's kind of a warm-up to get the body attuned and the muscles lengthened and stretching and things like that to attune yourself to higher energies. When you're doing different yogic practices or tantric practices. So regarding tantric sex, it's kind of like this, like unless you're like a yogi who's deeply embedded and embroiled in tantric practices and you've made that your life's mission, there's no real reason to indulge in tantric sex. Just have regular sex, enjoy yourself. That's kind of my thought on that. It's just like, you know, why it's kind of, I guess I'm opposed to, you know, spiritualizing sex. You know, it's already, you know, fun enough as it is. It doesn't need to be, you know, it doesn't need to be spiritualized. It's already a spiritual experience, you know. When I guess, well, what I'm saying is it can be a spiritual experience in and of itself. It doesn't need to be tantric sex to have that spiritual connection or component to it. When it's done in a healthy, loving manner with a, you know, an intimate partner, not just like randomly sleeping with random people. That's not spiritual at all. But you know, when you find that connection with your soulmate or with a partner, then it, you know, it can be very, very spiritual and you know, developing that connection. So anyway, let's see here. So yeah, that tantric sex is a very small, minute part of the entirety of all tantric practices. Okay, so let's see. Another meaning of Tantra is to weave or to loom. In Norse mythology, we have what's called the web of weird. So it's the web of weird. Weird. Weird is spelled W-Y-R-D. And so we have the web of weird and the three Norns, N-O-R-N-S. The web of weird is the fiber of the conscious awareness of the universe. Quantum physics is even catching on to this, and there's more evidence that everything in the universe is interconnected. The three Norns are giantesses, which are so powerful that not even the gods can control them. In fact, they have control over the gods themselves. These giantesses weave the past, present, and future. And what's interesting is that they don't do this in chronological order, so it doesn't go from past, present, future. It starts with the present moment, and from the present moment, we create our past, and we create our future. The past and future are the result of our actions, choices, attitudes, and beliefs in the present moment. So even if you had challenges, difficulties, and negative experiences in your past in childhood, you can reframe them by adopting new attitudes and beliefs that turn those hardships into something positive and empowering. So yeah, what is the past? The past is not real. All you have is this present moment. What you think of as the past, the only thing that is cementing your past in place is your mental construct of it, your feelings about it, your memories, and even looking at things from your memories as opposed to other people's memories. Somebody could have the exact same childhood, the exact same experiences, the exact same trauma as you did, but if they work on themselves and switch their mindset, they can look at it as an experience that built them to who they are. And someone who doesn't do that can look at those experiences as just from a victim mindset, from a victim standpoint of, these people were mean to me, my parents abused me, I was, abused, neglected, abandoned, sexually, physically, emotionally, all this stuff. And essentially we can look at it from a victim standpoint, or we can look at it from something that really empowers us. My mom wasn't the best to me. However, for example, my mom wasn't really there for me. She wasn't around for me. She had a short temper with me. She didn't show compassion or love for me on a regular basis. So that taught me to basically love and accept myself, and that took a lot of work. Somebody can learn to love and accept themselves even though their parents didn't, and that does take a lot of work. That does take a mindset shift. But this is what the practices are here for, to help you do that, to help you spiritually evolve. And like I said earlier, having a mentor, having a teacher is extremely powerful and extremely helpful. Why is that? Because you can't fix yourself. A brain surgeon cannot do brain surgery on themselves. They need somebody else. Even if you're the smartest, most talented person in the world, you can't fix yourself. Your own deluded thinking, we all have these blind spots, this kind of pattern in our thinking that doesn't align with objective reality. We perceive the world a certain way that gives us a certain mindset, a certain frame of mind that allows us to think about ourselves and others in a certain light. So that light could be untrue or false, or it might not be helpful is what I'm trying to say. So anyway, let's continue with this, and I think I talked a lot about it in the paragraphs to come. Okay, so even if you've had challenges, difficulties, and negative experiences in your past, you can reframe them by adopting new attitudes and behaviors to turn those hardships into something more positive and empowering. The three Norns. What are the three Norns? We have Urd, which is also called weird. It is our past. Urd is basically spelled URDR, and it's it's in Norse, so it's it's has different it looks different. So anyway, so Urd, weird, past, that which has been woven. It's our origins. It's our origin story. This is what's cemented into our mind as our past. This is weird. This is karma. This is I shouldn't say it's karma, but it's essentially our origin story that gets the blueprint of our minds are meaning-making machines, so they are how we see the world, and the blueprint that we got as children. This is our origins, our blueprint. So we have Urd, which is weird or past, that which has been woven, origins, our past. And then we have Verdandi, which is present, the ever unfolding now, immediacy, dharma. So this is kind of living in the present moment and making decisions from your soul that are in alignment with your soul, which if you are in alignment with your soul, then you will fulfill your dharma. So it's the immediacy, the actions that we take in every moment that determine our future. So, if we have a certain belief system, a certain blueprint, we're going to take actions that may reinforce that blueprint. If we think that women are totally uninterested in us because we're broke and poor, we're not going to ask them out. We're going to continue to be resentful at them. So this is the actions that result from our blueprint. So, but you do have the choice in this present moment. You have the choice whether you're going to act on the blueprint that's in your mind, or whether you're going to choose something new. When you take contrary action and when you choose something new, when you choose something helpful and empowering and something that's good for you, that blueprint begins to shift and change. it no longer has the strength that it did to hold you in a pattern of action that will repeat the same results. This is kind of why people, men will date people like their mother, or date women who are just like their mother. They're trying to relive that childhood experience, and in order to, some people say, in order to shift it or change it, however, it could also just be to replay that, to relive that. So these are the actions that we take. Every second of every day, you are presented with actions. You can choose whether you want to, follow your same old routine right now, or whether you want to try something new. So it's up to you. You can choose to do something healthy and empowering for yourself, like go work out or go eat something healthy. Or you can do something destructive for yourself, like taking drugs, alcohol, things like that. Something that damages yourself. And these are all choices that we make, whether consciously or unconsciously, in the present moment. So, there's been a lot of days where I haven't felt like making a video for you guys, but I get up and do it anyway. So, Alright, so we talked about Urd, we talked about Verdandi, and so Verdandi is the present, the ever unfolding now, immediacy, and Dharma. So I think I explained that pretty well. And then we have Skuld, Skuld, and this is our future. This is that which has yet to be woven. This is our karma, or our debt. Each one of us is experiencing karma in every second of every day. Why is that? We're experiencing good karma because our heart is beating. We are able to inhale and get air into our lungs. We're able to, to live. Just the act of living, just living in and of itself is karma playing itself out. It's good karma playing itself out. So even, whatever problems you have, it can always, some people, don't have food, some people don't, whatever. Some people are born into really bad conditions. So if you're listening to this video, odds are you have it pretty good. You have air in your lungs, you have a heart that beats well, and you're able to have most people are able to have a healthy body. And, so that in itself is karma. Karma is severely misunderstood. We think of, bad karma, instant karma, things like that. Karma is the result of your actions. So I talk about karma in the book, so I'm just going to continue. So essentially, karma is debt, what you are owed, meaning you did something good in a previous life for somebody, you empowered yourself, you did something really good or, positive constructive, helpful, and that result of that action is now playing out in your life, in your present life. You know, for example, the karma of working out is you get bigger, stronger muscles. You know, that the result of that action is that if you eat 500 cheeseburgers a month, the karma of that is you get big and fat. It's no surprise. So if you want good karma, do good things for yourself. So, you know, karma is no mystery of the universe. It's literally the result of your actions. Okay, cause and effect. All right, so schooled, future, that was with that which has yet to come. It's karma or debt. So what does Tantra have to do with the web of weird and the three norns? Well, as I mentioned earlier, one meaning of Tantra is to weave or to loom. So when we do our daily tantric practices and disciplines, we are weaving our own destiny. Remember, guys, when we do daily spiritual practices, we are weaving good karma for ourselves. We are making good karma for ourselves. So yeah, when we do daily tantric practices and discipline, we are weaving our own destiny. And we are coming into alignment with our dharma. Because why? Why is that? Because we are taking good actions that will help us connect with our soul. When we are connected with our soul, we will take actions that our soul wants and that resonate with us, and it's the program of our soul to live out its dharma. So it's very important to, you know, to live that out and to accomplish that mission. That's kind of the mission of our soul, is our dharma. Anyway, let's see here. So we are weaving our own destiny, and we are coming into alignment with our dharma when we do spiritual practices. This is why tantric practices and techniques are so vital to our spiritual growth and self-awareness. Because it's kind of, you know, when we come into alignment with our soul, think about the sun. You can think about the sun as the soul. What does the sun do when planets are near it? It burns them up. The closer that we are coming into alignment with our soul is like the planets coming into alignment with the sun. When we come into alignment with the soul burns our karma. It's essentially we're burning our karma. And this is done by doing these practices every day. We are burning karma. We are coming into alignment with our soul. We're developing spiritual maturity and self-awareness and, you know, really maturity. That's what Kundalini is all about, spiritual maturity, you know. So that's why I teach Kundalini yoga and Qigong, because, you know, Qigong is about connecting with the universe, the energy of the universe, and allowing that to flow through us. And when we're open to the energy of the universe, we feel the universe, the love from the universe. Energy is just love. Love is energy. So when we do energy work, energy practices, we're flowing with the love of the universe. And then so that empowers us, and then Kundalini, it takes that empowerment and it basically matures us, it grows us, it evolves us to become more, mature humans. So anyway, that was a tangent. Anyway. All right, so then what else do I have here? So this is why tantric practices and techniques are so vital to our spiritual growth and self-awareness. All right, the beautiful thing about this understanding of the web of weird is that we have the power of choice in our present moment to overcome the challenges and limitations that were given to us in our past. We have the choice to create the future that we want by taking positive, constructive actions for ourselves. So the point, excuse me, guys. Okay. So the point of tantric practices is to weave your own destiny through psychological maturity. Carl Jung stated it perfectly. He said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life. It will direct your life, and you will call it fate." So let me read that again. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Essentially, by coming into the alignment with our soul, we are becoming enlightened. What is the soul? The sun, light. And as I said, it's like heat, it's hot, it's burning our karmas. So the more that we strive for self-awareness and living in alignment with our soul, the more our karmas are going to be burned off. And the karma is essentially living from, or our bad karma or whatever. Karma is essentially living, like what I'm talking about is living from that blueprint, that stuck blueprint. So you can either live from the victim mentality blueprint that we all have in our heads, or we can live from our soul. When we live from our soul, the integrity of our soul, we have to drop the blueprint, the victim mentality, the immaturity, the mental constructs that we have in our minds. We have to, get past that and drop that in order to live from our soul. Because guess what? The soul is not human. I mean, by that I mean it's not constrained to just 3D. It is eternal. It is all-powerful. It is unconditional love. It is, light, consciousness, awareness. So the more we live from that, and guys, I can say this, but in my own life, it's been challenging to drop the victim mentality, to drop the old programming, the old blueprints, the old, ways of being, ways of thinking. It is absolutely tough to drop that stuff. However, it is so necessary, so empowering when you can just drop it. It's freeing. This is what 12-step work is all about. It's really that's what it's about. So is basically dropping the victim mentality and embracing an attitude of maturity and self-awareness and spiritual growth. That's what the 12 steps do. Especially the 4th step. I'm on my 4th step, and it's challenging, So anyway, let me continue here. All right. The importance of daily spiritual practices. So this is a new chapter called The Importance of Daily Spiritual Practices. Speaking from personal experience, the most important thing I ever did for myself was commit myself to doing spiritual practices every single day of my life. The only exceptions being when I'm sick and physically unable. But even then, I can pray, and if not out loud, like once my voice wasn't working, so I couldn't pray out loud, but I prayed silently. And you can choose a deity to work with, to pray to, and I cover that in my book, Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology. All right, you can get that on Amazon. So I said it's very important that we begin to develop a spiritual connection. It helps us receive nourishment, guidance, and wisdom, which in turn helps us make better choices in our daily lives. Daily spiritual disciplines are my medicine. Before I started doing them, I was severely depressed and in a really bad mental state. But one day, something inside of me snapped, and I made the commitment that I'll do whatever the hell it takes to find a way out of this, a way out of my hopelessness. And it worked. I found my spiritual teacher who taught me about these sacred practices and the transformative healing that they bring into our lives when we commit to doing them daily, on a daily basis. This is why I'm so adamant that everyone who is struggling or suffering should be doing spiritual disciplines. These are very powerful tools that will help. These are very powerful tools that will have a profound transformative effect in your life if you discipline yourself to do them every day to the best of your ability. When you make them a priority, the results will manifest in your life. Sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly, but they will always materialize if you work for them. And, I don't know how they're going to materialize for each and every individual. I can only speak about my experience, but it manifests sometimes in ways that you don't know about or aren't aware of, but these results manifest in your life. Let's see here. The important thing is that you do them every day to the best of your ability. This is not about perfectionism. It's in perfectionism is an unattainable illusion, like a mirage. You'll never achieve it. You'll never get there. So just do your best and love yourself exactly where you are. That's the thing about this is you don't have to do Kundalini yoga or mantras or ritual, perfectly. No, you just do it to the best of your ability, and that's okay. Just giving it your best effort, giving everything in your life your best effort. That's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're perfect, if you're not perfect. Perfectionism is an illusion. All right, so how does this work? Spiritual disciplines are actions And every time you take an action, that has an effect. And this is what we call karma. Karma is merely the result of your actions. So sometimes you'll hear people complaining about how bad they have it, and they may say it's because of karma, bad karma, or whatever. Well, if that's true, the opposite is also true. So when someone goes from being homeless to being a millionaire, that is also the effect of karma playing out in their lives. It's not one or the other. It's both positive and negative results based upon your actions. So you have the choice of what karma you want to experience in your life. And you make that choice every millisecond through your actions, choices, beliefs, and attitudes. And even inaction is still an action and a choice. So, if you're sitting on the couch or sitting in bed thinking, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. Wake up the next day, I'll do it tomorrow. Wake up the next day, I'll do it tomorrow. That is an action. That is a choice. That is a conscious choice. And even the things that you don't know that you should be doing, maybe you are totally unaware that that taking a Vedic Astrology class is exactly what you need to do, exactly what your soul wants to do. By consciously not by not doing that, you're kind of robbing yourself of what your soul wants to do. So it's it's just, I don't know, it's not you should always do what you feel drawn to, and you should always strive to figure out what it is that you want, that your soul wants, that your soul desires. In fact, in my 90-day in my self-transformation practice, which you can get at GeboTheShaman.com, that's a 90-day ritual where I take you through Qigong and yoga practices. And essentially, in there, I say, ask yourself what it is you want to do every day and work your best towards doing that. And it's not like what you want to do. It's like, I want to, go, do something destructive or go drink or whatever. It's like, what does your soul want to do? What your soul and your lower self are telling you are two different things. So, at least in the majority of cases. So, all right. So, yeah, I said, so, when people have bad karma, they complain about that. But then the opposite is also true. Someone goes from being homeless to being a millionaire. That is also the effect of karma playing out in their lives. They didn't go from being homeless to being a millionaire overnight or by happenstance, by, luck most of the time. Most of the time they worked very hard for that. They worked their butt off to achieve something. And that is karma, the result of your actions. So it's not good or bad, it's both. Positive or negative, it's both. So you have the choice of what karma you want to experience in your life. And you make that choice every millisecond through your actions, choices, beliefs, and attitudes. And even inaction is still action and a choice. So, So when you do these spiritual practices or disciplines, you're creating positive karma for yourself. And karma, the thing about karma is it must manifest and give you the results. Cause and effect. It's a law of the universe, cause and effect. So action and then the result, the action and reaction, cause and effect. It's a law of the universe, So people like to spiritualize karma, but it's just the result of your actions. So this is when we create positive actions for ourselves, we're creating our debt, a debt that must be paid. You don't take positive actions and then nothing happens. No, the universe will always reward you for taking positive and constructive actions. So, karma must manifest and give you the results, whether that's positive or negative. It's both. So, also, every time that you take an action that is contrary to what your feelings, bodily impulses, or intellect tells us to do, you are rewiring the neural pathways in your brain. Remember, this is like, operating from the old blueprint or operating from your soul. So when you operate from your soul, you are basically deconstructing that old blueprint and teaching it something new, teaching your brain something new. Neuroplasticity is a beautiful thing. It means that no matter how messed up your life is, how messed up your childhood was, and no matter how what trauma or abuse you've been through, you still have the choice to change and grow into a person that you can love and respect and be proud of. Your brain is capable of change. Your brain is capable of rewiring itself. The human body is always growing and always, shifting. New cells are always growing in, every day. So I believe it's like every 7 years. I think they said, some scientist or biologist said that like every 7 years, I think your body basically recreates itself. And so, even with epigenetics, the stress or beliefs or stress or like negative self-image or things like that, like trauma, things like that, can shorten your telomeres, and it can cause to illness and things like that. And that's why it's so important to do these spiritual practices, because when you do them, essentially you are rewiring your brain, and you're rebuilding yourself. It's an act of health. It's an act of positive constructive action for yourself. So anyway, let's see here. So yeah, no matter how messed up your life is, no matter how what trauma or abuse you've been through, we still have the choice to change and grow into the person that you can love and respect and be proud of. You don't have to continue replaying the same old patterns and habits in your daily life. When you decide to do spiritual practices, your mindset will shift, and instead of looking for love from others, for example, you'll get it from the infinite, unconditional, loving connection you begin to build with the universe. So that's been my experience, is like, I don't tend to operate from that old programming as much, and I build that relationship with the universe, which is, extremely loving and caring. And, because when you get love from other people, essentially that's conditional love. People love you for what you do for them, the feelings that you give them, the actions that you take to help them, or whatever it is. But when you're getting love from the universe, it's unconditional. And not only does it come from the universe, it also comes from within, because if those two things are at odds, you're, self-hatred versus getting love from the universe, it's a very challenging and hard dynamic to do. So spiritual practices will also teach you to love yourself exactly where you are. And that's what I said with perfectionism. It's like, just do your best wherever you are. You don't have to be perfect. Just the willingness to try is what matters. And, the action of actually trying and doing your best is what matters too. All right, so let's jump into the next chapter. What is animism? The holographic nature of reality. Hold on, guys. All right. I think it's important to get a good understanding of animism and the holographic nature of reality, because the mantras and rituals that you will learn later in this book are the mantras and rituals that you'll learn later in this book are practiced to ask specific planets and deities for guidance and wisdom. This may be concerning or even off-putting to my Western audience, who have been raised in a monotheistic society and culture, so worshipping different planets and deities is quite a foreign concept for most Westerners. So what is animism? Animism is the belief that everything in the universe has consciousness that can be interacted with. So where the average Westerner sees planets as giant rocks in the sky, animists see them as beings that can be interacted with. Another concern may be that you feel uncomfortable worshipping some foreign deity that you're unfamiliar with. I understand this. However, it's also important to understand that everything that is outside of you is actually within you. You see, in 3D we have an illusion of separation, that I am me and you are you. But the truth is, we are all one. So when you worship Ganesha or Shiva, for example, you are actually worshiping a part of yourself. You're actually worshiping a part of yourself. People have described this principle as the macrocosm and the microcosm, the superconscious or collective consciousness. It all means the same thing. We are one. So when you look up at the stars in the sky at night, you're actually looking deep within yourself. So this is a very important concept to understand. And the animists, the Vedics, they knew this. And, that this is what shamanism is all about. This is why I call myself a shaman. Another word for animism is shamanism. So anyway, I digress. Another part of the holographic nature of reality is that nothing is black and white. Nothing is static. For example, when you ask a Hindu, is Shiva a real person? They will answer, oh yes, Shiva is very much a real person. Let's see, I lost my place here. So they'll answer yes. The average Westerner, hold on. Sorry. So, like I said, if you ask a Hindu, is Shiva a real person? They will answer yes. And then you ask them in the same breath, well, isn't Shiva just a symbol for our highest awareness? The answer will still be, oh yes, Shiva is just a symbol for our highest awareness, and yet he is a real person. The average Westerner would be scratching their head wondering what the real truth, what the truth really is. But the truth is that Shiva can be a real person and also be a symbol for our highest awareness at the same time. It is not either or, it is both, simultaneously. You see, logic and intellect are only good for one thing, navigating this 3D plane of separation and illusion. As soon as you bring your intellect into to try to rationally understand the holographic nature of reality, the more confused you'll become. And I've experienced this for myself because I'm always trying to rationalize things and learn, logic things out. However, some of these things just can't be logicked out. It's just not possible. So tuning into the left brain, the creative brain, the feminine brain. Someone once I should finish that thought. Tuning into the right brain, the feminine brain, will help you in spirituality. It'll be a great help to just let the logic go and just enjoy the feminine brain, where things don't have to make logical sense. You can just feel them, you can just intuit them, things like that. So someone once described he was talking about males and females and how they think differently. And, he was saying that a male brain, what I'm describing as the left brain is logical, it's male, the right brain is female. So the left brain, he was saying, is like waffles. It's like Eggo waffles. It has, you pour the syrup on it and it has little squares, little compartments, little divots, like where it creates boxes, like little boxes that the syrup goes in. Okay, he was saying that that's the male brain. The male brain is like a waffle. It's very compartmentalized, very organized, very straight, very logical, very, intelligent, intellectual, very logical, analytical, things like that. And then he was saying that the female brain is like spaghetti. It all blends together. There is no logic. This is not a diss on females, by the way. Love females, but it's just true. Our brains operate differently. Now, I'm specifically using this example for the right brain versus the left brain, but anyway, so essentially he was saying the female brain is like spaghetti. Everything everything blends together. It's like when you're talking to a female, she might be talking about one thing 1 minute, and then jump to, a different topic each minute, just like boom, boom, boom. And everything is like kind of connected. Everything is, to her, everything is orderly. Everything is, connected, has some kind of a connection. Anyway, so I use that to say that we can't use the masculine brain, the left brain, to do spirituality or spiritual practices. It just doesn't work like that. The spirituality is more connected to our right brain, our feminine brain, our intuition, emotions, feelings, just intuition, things like that. So I wish I had more words to describe it, but you get the gist. Alright, so you cannot use your left brain, your intelligence, to rationally understand spirituality or the holographic nature of reality. The more you try to use your intellect, the more confused you'll get. I know this because I've often become frustrated with, I can't explain how certain things work in spirituality, and that's just, I'm just gonna have to accept that at face value, just go with it. Anyway, so I said, a lot of Westerners are also concerned about bad, evil, or malefic, malicious deities that are going to punish them or harm them. Not to worry, evil does not exist outside of 3D. So there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing that can harm you during these spiritual practices. It is impossible for evil to exist outside of 3D because evil is only capable of being low vibrational or low frequency. And the energy that we tap into during these spiritual practices is very high frequency. So, a lot of people have this concept of, that there's good aliens and bad aliens. There's, good spiritual beings and bad spiritual beings, or, higher dimensional beings or things like that. And it's just not true. Everything that is above 3D is all positive and good. So there's really nothing to be afraid of. That's my experience. Alright, so how Vedic astrology is used to prescribe tantric practices. In Vedic astrology, there are many calculations that have been intuitive and used by sages throughout history. These calculations are used to find out different things, like which planets want to bless you with riches and fame, which planets want to help you follow your soul desire or dharma, your destiny, which planets want to help you follow your dharma, your soul's desire and destiny, which planets want to work with you on the conscious level, the subconscious and unconscious levels of your mind, etc. Alright, let me silence my phone. Okay. So by combining your current Vedic astrology knowledge and the information presented in this book with tantric practices, we can prescribe mantras and rituals for our own personal use and for our use by our clients, friends, and family. They can be used as remedies or as a solid foundation for daily spiritual practice. The utility of this knowledge is as useful as you make it. So I can give you the blueprint to become a millionaire, but until you actually take action on that, it doesn't matter. You can know a bunch of things, but until you take action and do them, it doesn't really matter. So the action is what counts. So these practices are as useful as you make them. So in fact, by using this book to, by using the contents of this book, you can become a certified a Vedic astrologer, and you can use this information to, get your own clients and all that stuff. In fact, if you want a Vedic astrology certification course, and to, I have where I give people their own website and things like that. If you want that, you can go to gebotheshaman.com right down here, and essentially what you'll do is sign up for that course, and it's a self-paced video course, and you'll get the materials and the literature and the PDFs and documents and all that stuff to actually open up your own astrology business, and you'll do it under my teaching. So not only will you get your free website, but I will also refer people to you for readings and things like that on the channel, and actually promote you. So that's something that I offer. All right, so let's see here. All right, continuing, this book includes information about the Atmakarka, Soul Significator, Yoga Karka, Ishta Devata, Dharma Devata, Palana Devata, and how to find your perfect mantra and ritual. You could also do mantras and rituals to each or any of these planets and deities if you're seeking. So you could do mantras and rituals to each of these or any of these planets and deities that are seeking to help and empower you in different ways. However, I would strongly recommend only trying different mantras and rituals to other planets and deities after you have completed a 40-day sadhana to your Dharma Devata. More information will be provided about the specifics of each mantra and how to prescribe rituals further along in the book, which I'm probably not going to get to today in this video. In fact, you could even use this book to give astrology readings by listing these important calculation points for your clients. In fact, this is the majority of what I do, guys. I just give people this information and they're happy about it. I talk about their ascendant, moon sign, sun sign, and I really dive into this information, and it's super helpful, super informative and useful. And I haven't had a client who wished that they got a different reading, or something was different, because this stuff is very pertinent and very important and special. It's a unique reading that no other astrologer really does. So anyway, all right, so let's see here. I've also included other tidbits in this book that I like to include in my astrology readings, like information about good luck pendants, how to find out someone's spiritual name, and something called the something called the Aruda Lagna. Let's see, where was I? I clicked off of my document, so. Alright, so good luck pendant, spiritual name, and Aruda Lagna. Those are the things that I also cover in this book. So the Aruda Lagna is also called the House of Reflection. It can tell us the initial vibe that people get from us, and how to use that to your advantage when dealing with others. Alright, so, and then I go into the Atmakarka and talking about each of these. So I think I'm going to do that on another video and kind of explain each one in depth in another video, because this one is kind of long. So anyway, yeah, it is long. Holy crap. Alright guys, so yeah, I really appreciate you tuning in for this. Stick around for part 2. I'll be uploading that soon, and yeah, so really appreciate you guys hanging around and watching this video, and really absorbing this knowledge that I have to share with the world. So anyway, let's see. So as you may know, I am a Vedic astrologer. I do that by profession, and if you want a reading from me, then you can go to gebotheshaman.com. I also have this book, which is available, which I've been reading from. It's called Tantric Secrets of Vedic Astrology, and you can get that on Amazon. The link will be in the description below, and you can also go to gebotheshaman.com. It's available there as well. You can, there's a link that links to the Amazon page, so, alright, so, what else? So we do have the Qigong courses. I have my my self-transformation challenge, which is like a 90-day practice, which includes yoga, Qigong, and a whole bunch of other, really amazing stuff. It's a daily practice, and there's 3 practices per day. You can do as little or as much as you want. Just remember that consistency is key. So whatever you commit to, you're going to make sure that you commit to that no matter what. Again, I said the only times that I take off are when I'm sick and when I'm, just physically unable to do the practices. And then I also have something called the so I have what's called the Self-Transformation Challenge, which combines Qigong and yoga and meditation. But then I also have this thing called the Cosmic Qigong course, which basically is, it's intended as a Qigong course for beginners. Those practices and things, those movements and postures are extremely easy to do for beginners. They're extremely easy, and they not only that, but they're extremely powerful. Like even Qigong masters still do those practices because they're just the simplest practices are like the most powerful. A lot of people think that you have to do something very high level and very advanced and very complex and technical in order to have a benefit of it, but really just the simplest practices are the most effective. So that's what I teach in the Cosmic Qigong course. Anyway, then we have the astrology certification course. I already talked about that. And then astrology readings. So I do offer astrology readings, and they're mostly based around this, but they also do include a 1-hour consultation with me, so you can ask me whatever questions you want. You can ask me about love, your relationships, your career, whatever is going on with you. I can help you with that. And so if you want a reading from me, you can go to gebotheshaman.com. All right, and then we have also birth time rectification. So birth time rectification is a service that I offer. It is extremely difficult to do birth time rectification, especially if you have an unknown birth time. If you have an unknown birth time, there are certain methods and techniques that I have developed to narrow down that time of birth from 24 hours to like 6 hours to 2 hours. So by, you participating in that process with me, you can help me to narrow down your birth time. And once I get it down to like 2 hours, then I can usually narrow it down even further very quickly by looking at your divisional charts and things like that. Very technical, very complex stuff. So, it's not something that any old astrologer could do. You have to be very skilled and very, knowledgeable with the practices of Jyotish to even attempt to do this stuff. So that's me. That's why I do it. Because I love the challenge, honestly. It's like so fun to go from, okay, I don't know, there's a 24-hour window, I have no idea. Go from that to, okay, now that this person has given me certain information, I now narrow it down from a 24 to a 6-hour window to a 2-hour window, and then from there, yeah. So it's a fun process for me, and it's really like honing my detective skills and things like that. So it's fun. So if you're interested in that, then you can go to gebotheshaman.com. I do charge a pretty penny for that, unashamedly so, because it does take a hell of a lot of my time up. So it just takes a lot of time, and my time is valuable to me, so that's why I charge so much. Anyway, and then we have the birth time rectification actually includes an astrology reading with the birth time rectification, so that's why it's priced how it's priced, So anyway, additionally, we have a rune reading. So if you're interested in learning about what the energies are taking place in your life at this current time or in the near future, highly recommend a rune reading, because it's just like it tells you what's going on in your life and what to expect. So yeah, that can be extremely helpful. And not only that, it takes into account the 9 realms, the 9 aspects of human existence, from your relationships to, your higher self advice, to your unconscious, to the actions that you're taking, what's coming to you, what's manifesting, your hopes and wishes and dreams, and your own, like what's going on with your identity and your relationship with yourself. So very, very cool stuff to learn from a rune reading. And then we have the career coaching and life coaching. So if you're interested in that, I'm not perfect, but I do believe that I have some valuable advice to give people. So if you're interested in working with me personally, then you can go to gebotheshaman.com and check out my services. Alright, then we have the trauma healing course, which is more like a emotional awareness course. It really helps you to develop the awareness and capability to, it kind of gives you tools to become more aware of your emotions. And, most people are trying to run away from their emotions. They feel a certain way and they try to avoid that, but from my own personal experience, the only way out of your emotions is through them. The old Chinese saying, the only way out is through. In other words, like fighting through to get out of a situation or something like that. But anyway, the truth is, yeah, the only way out is true. The only way out is through. So, yeah, anyway. Then we have the distance energy healing sessions. Distance energy healing is extremely helpful. It's been helpful for my clients. And it really, if you need someone to help you love yourself and give you the energy, kind of a boost in energy, a kickstart in energy to begin the process of actually loving and caring for and nurturing your own self, then that distance energy healing session would be really helpful for you. Anyway, guys, that is all my time. I am way over time, so I knew that reading this book would take a while, but yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys. If you've made it this far, super grateful for you. And yeah, so that's about it for me, and we will talk to you next time. Peace. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time.